The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Hot new episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Boy. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy? Oh, you on mute?
I do this every time. What's good with you, man?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Nothing much. Sitting here watching two teams I don't care about, but I know it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
So, but man, what a weekend! What a weekend for college football, NFL games. Some massive comebacks, some surprising upsets.
You could say that.
Yeah, it's been some good ones. Man, we got this game on. New England Patriots versus Miami Dolphins. I know we're gonna talk NFL later, but wouldn't it make more sense for Miami to be in the AFC South?
And Indianapolis be in who you putting in the AFC East?
I've been thinking about that because that's if it makes more sense for them to be more, I guess, it's not necessarily, they're up north, but they're more Midwest. I could see putting them in the East, but
that's like, why is Dallas in the East?
Actually, I would put Indianapolis in the AFC North and put Pittsburgh in the AFC East.
I can see that.
Because then you'll have,
if you're going to do that, then you might as well take Dallas and put them in the AFC South.
Who would you put in
NFC South?
Who would you put in the NFC East?
Anybody fits better than Dallas.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, that was something that I always think about, man. It's like it doesn't make sense. It's just like
none of that Memphis makes sense. Only division that makes sense is the NFC South and the NFC West, AFC West.
Actually, you know what? If you're gonna do, I know Carolina is in the South, but they on the coast. I could see putting them on the East.
That's why Miami in the East, though.
All right, man. Something like I said, I always think about, man. It just don't
make sense at all, though.
It don't make sense. But man, let's go ahead and get started, man. We'll shout out to our sponsors, then we'll come back and holler at the people in the chat, man. But y'all know what it is. Shout out to our sponsors over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey, and we're back. And like always, man, we do want to say thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching, you know what I'm saying, you can be anywhere in the world, but we appreciate that. If you're enjoying the show, do us a favor. Subscribe, like, share, super chat. You know, definitely enjoy, you know what I'm saying, interacting with you guys each and every show. And dropping. What's good, Jason? Jason Brumfield said, since the NFC, he said facts, the NFC East is weird. He said, since we're talking outrage, do we like Shador flexing after a 2 OT game against a team they were favored to beat by 24 points? We actually got that game on the docket. We're gonna get there. We're gonna say that one. But I like that question. But man, let's go ahead and jump into it. LSU open up SEC play with game against Mississippi State, 11 o'clock. First off, what's your initial reaction to the game?
They looks a lot better than I thought they would, bro. I mean, they looked like we expected them to look against Florida State. I thought the game would be a lot closer than it was, but they took the lead early on and never looked back.
Yeah, that's true. That game was pure dominance. There's no other way to describe it. I'm like you. I expected not necessarily a close game. I thought we would win, convincingly. I did not think we would win that convincingly. There's the way we looked on defense. Huge surprise to me. Let's talk about this before we get to defense. It was two people who had a amazing day, record breaking and all that. Malik and Jayden had a day. Yeah. First off, let me pull up the stats because I do want to do this while we're talking about it. And we've got these stats, of course, as you can see, are from ESPN.com. Jayden was 30 or 34.
Highest completion percentage in LSU history. Well, minimum of 25 passing attempts.
Correct. I'm good at math, but I ain't that good.
Was it 88?
I want to say it's like 88 point some percent.
Yeah.
Yeah, 88.2%. 361 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jayden also added 64 yards on the ground with 2 additional touchdowns. Logan Diggs had 41 rushing yards on 5 carries. Caleb Jackson had 19 yards on 5 carries. Josh Williams had 17 on 4 carries and a touchdown. Noah Kane had 15 on 3 carries, and John Emery had 7 on 3 carries, which totaled 163 yards on 39 carries. Receiving wise, no doubt, Malik Neighbors, 13 catches, 239 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns with a long of 48. Brian Thomas was right behind, well, not right behind him, but Brian Thomas was behind him with 7 catches for 60 yards. Logan Diggs, 3 catches 30 yards. Caleb Jackson, 2 for 15. Josh Williams, 1 for 13. Chris Hilton, 2 for 9. Markaway had 1 for 5. Aaron Anderson had 1 for -1. And John Emmer had 1 for -3. So, didn't lose any fumbles. There was, first of all, no turnovers.
Huge.
This is where I get excited. This defense. The defense awakens. As we look, the defense has been struggling to get pressure in the backfield, and they ended up finding a way to do it this game. Ended up with 4 total sacks, 7 tackles for loss. So, yeah.
Yeah, the defense looked a lot better, bro. Especially with the adjustments they made to the lineup weeks, putting weeks in, the changes they made up front, seeing more Braden Swinson. Andre Sam obviously playing a lot more because of the Greg Brooks missing the game, but he looked great out there. Major Burns looked like he took a step forward yesterday.
Big time.
So I mean, we starting to see that defense play like a lot of us thought they could, especially with the talent we got out there. Perkins getting a big sack, Wingo getting a huge sack. That dude right there is unstoppable in the middle. But man, the defense starting to come along, and I know it's Mississippi State game. It's only been one game that we're talking about, but if they play like that moving forward, you got a lot of confidence and you got to feel good about it.
Yeah. One thing I want to say that came from the Grambling game that carry over, play on offense. We had no, if I'm not mistaken, no punts. Well, the first team offense had no punts in the game against. Actually, no, there were no punts at all in the game against Grambling. Or was there one? I think there was none because at the end of the game, did they kick a field goal? No. They did punt. They punted at the end of the game, Grambling game. So in 2 games, the first team offense has 1 punt.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. What's good, Josh? Josh chimed in. Jason Brumfield. So are people finally done asking what Nuts would look like as the starter? No.
I don't believe so, but I think yesterday he solidified that he's QB1 for a reason.
Yeah. Steven Young's
a lot of Caleb Jackson love up in the chat too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Stephen Young says the winner of the LSU versus Ole Miss wins the West and beats Georgia in the SEC championship game.
I like it.
I like it. We gonna get there because Ole Miss, they got Bama next week, but we gonna get there. We gonna talk about it. Big Pressure says can't guard Malik. Definitely can't. Jason, say his name correct. Hulk Jackson. My bad. Stephen Young says that he looks like Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, he did on that one play for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. He ran him over and stopped and stared at him.
Looked at him.
Yeah,
he could have got about 3 more yards, but he just stopped and looked at him.
Yeah. Paul Sub said, F it, Malik down, definitely down there. So
yeah.
Oh man, that last
was for sure.
That last pass, and you talked about it on Spaces. That last pass before the last touchdown, where he hit him like right there, like at the 1 yard line.
Man, dropped it in. You couldn't have walked out there and handed it to him in a better location than where that ball was placed.
Yeah. A Withers says, I think we need to keep West in the middle. I think you need Witt.
Weeks, yeah.
Weeks. Little brother was doing his thing. 8 total tackles, 2 solo. He was and wearing that 40. Hey, it's just Devin White got you know what I'm saying? He got vitiligo or something out there. He came back with the Michael Jackson. But yeah, man, he looked good out there. That defense the communication was very fluid. It was, you could tell they were clicking, and Andre Sam as well. So
yeah, Sam looked good.
Let's see here. It said Alexander needs to be in tackling drills because he's missing too many.
Yeah, he could tackle a little better. He played better yesterday than he has all season, I think, though.
Yeah. What's good, Tony? Yeah. Tori Williams say Georgia's going to lose 2 games. Tell me who, Tori. I can say I can say the possibly the SEC championship, just depending on who they play, but I don't know. We'll get there. I don't know. I don't see it right now. I would have said Tennessee, but we'll get there
Florida?
too. Maybe ish. I don't know.
Kentucky? Missouri?
I don't know who they.
I'm just naming their schedule.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who do they have. They got Auburn and who's their other West crossover this year?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
It's got. I bet it's somebody like No, it ain't Arkansas because they just had Arkansas recently.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking up now. Who is their crossover? They got Auburn and Ole Miss.
Ooh.
November 11th. Oh, November 11th might be isn't that the nope, November 4th is the
November
LSU.
4th LSU, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be interesting. Interesting. Let me look at the team stats. Mississippi State really couldn't do anything. Will Rogers had 107 passing yards. That was it. They had 10 first downs on the day. Third down, that's another big one. Third down efficiency, 9 of 16. 2 for 2 on fourth downs. When we have Mississippi State, it's a 3 of 13 and 2 of 3 on fourth downs. We got to clean up the fourth down conversions on defense, but that ain't bad.
Yeah.
You only
201 yards.
Yeah, you forced them to 12 or 29 passing completions. Do you hear Dylan?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's not taking his bath. He be talking. Time of possession. Time of
Mhm.
possession is something that popped up. They showed it, at halftime. It was like 19-6. It was like right before half. It was like 19-6. The graphic they put up. So at that point, LSU had the ball 4 times as long as Mississippi State, and the score and everything about it reflected just that. So, yeah, that was huge. That was huge. But overall, man, hold on, because had some more questions for you. I was gonna ask you about this game. Let me ask this: what did you learn from this game?
I mean, I already knew it, but I guess you could say that the offense could be explosive.
Yeah.
I mean, not just dynamic, but explosive. Like the passes we saw to Malik yesterday, especially that last one. That's like what we saw with Chris Hilton the week before versus Grambling, taking the top off. Like that's what we've been wanting to see, and people have wanted to know, could we do it? But I think we got the proof now that we can.
Yeah. I agree. I think the one thing I learned, maybe this defense isn't as bad as we thought. And I honestly, I mean, there's things to work on. I'm not definitely that, but I still think that this actually things I learned. It may not necessarily be about this team. I think I learned that Florida State really is just that good.
Yeah,
and I know they know. I don't have it on here. I know they had a close one with Boston College, but I think that we had a close one with Auburn in
those
19.
games happen, man.
Yeah. Technically, we had a close one with Texas. So those kind of games, like you said, those games happen, but they found a way to win. So yeah, optimism moving forward.
For the defense, I was always optimistic about the offense,
Yes,
but the defense, I got a little bit of optimism going forward. Is I'm trying to temper expectations a bit because it was only one game, but um, I'm starting to feel like we might be turning the corner on that side.
I like it. I like it. Torres said that he can see Georgia losing to Ole Miss in Florida. A. Withers said he thought that Georgia would be 10-2 and Bama 9-3 before the season.
It's possible, very possible.
I'll save it. What's good? Appreciate you for tuning in to Raj. Torres said Mississippi State coach probably should have left the offensive system in place. I understand that thought process. My reason now, because who honestly is gonna call it like Mike Leach though?
But my thing is, it's easy to say that now after you've seen it not working.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like I said yesterday in Spaces, you can't hire Zach Arnett and then force him to keep the offense the way Mike Leach had it. He hired the guy he wanted, to run his offense. Now, I think what was a mistake was not going and getting a quarterback who could run that offense, and maybe they got it in the Vandy transfer. Mike Wright, maybe they got the guy who can run that system, but Will Rogers running
Malik
that
Wright,
system.
right? Malik Wright.
Is it
Malik
Malik?
Wright?
I thought it was Mike Wright.
Man, I don't know.
But I do think it was. I think it was a bad fit for Will Rogers to run that offense.
You're gonna laugh when I tell you this. It's Mike Wright. You know who Malik Wright is?
Is that the dude off the game?
Yes, that's what I was like. Malik Wright, where I know that name from? That's the dude from the game. I
agree with what Jason said though.
Where he at? Where he? Oh no, that's pressure. I was about to put talking about his, or maybe we just didn't play our best in a half of football. We were better. I like to see the finished product between the two. LSU may finish the season better than FSU may lose this weekend. Who FSU got this weekend?
I don't know. Is it Clemson?
They ain't losing to Clemson. Losing to Clemson. But yeah, they got Clemson this weekend. I don't see them losing to Clemson. I can see it as a possibility. I don't see it happening this year though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Is that Clemson, ain't it?
Yeah, it's at Clemson too.
Yeah, crazy things happen.
That's true. That's very true. Stephen Young said LSU said that 3-3-5 defense is hard to prepare for. LSU put on a clinic. Yeah, Craig says, what's good, Craig? Craig said Jayden was put in the bread basket for sure.
Definitely was.
Pressure said he learned that the offense flow better with Lacey taking fewer snaps.
I'll say this. One thing I noticed about the offense was no drops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It did look like House game from Tony said it did look like House game plan was more aggressive in his scheme.
Yeah, I saw a lot more man, press man in this game. Partly could it be because of the scheme of Mississippi State, that they're not trying to air that thing out. But it did look like he was a little more aggressive and sent a little more pressure as well.
Yeah. Takai J. I'm thinking. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Takai J says the secondary impressed me on Saturday. Sam is a dog. I think Burns is showing a lot of improvement as well. I'm gonna tell you what I noticed about Sam and what I like. I think it was Danny Girl or somebody in space mentioned We haven't seen that dog, that line, that secondary, that safety that's just gonna come down the box and lay lay a lick on you. That LaRon Landry, type hit. And Sam kind of had that going. He can it was a play late in the, I want to say, no, not late, it was like early in the third. It threw a pass, deep pass to Mississippi State. He came down and I thought it was gonna be targeting, but he laid dude out. So
yeah, he seemed to play with bad intentions, and that's kind of what we've been kind of missing that swagger in the secondary the past few years. So if he can help bring some of that back, I'm all for it. But Major been playing good the last couple games too.
yes.
I think somebody said that, I don't know who said it in the chat, but that Major starting to play a little bit better as well.
Yeah.
I'm starting to notice that too. And when you get Greg Brooks back there, you might have a back end that's shored up a lot at the safety position.
Yeah. Pressure is on one tonight. Hey, let me ask you this: you want to go Alabama or you want to go Tennessee next?
They both depressing. It don't matter.
Yeah. Well, I say Tennessee, Florida game. Let's go Tennessee, Florida, because I'm. Let's go Tennessee, Florida, real quick.
Tennessee playing the wrong quarterback.
Okay. I'll admit I was wrong. I thought that Milton would come in, kind of go back to the form he was in before he got injured and Hendon Hooker took over, or maybe he did go back to that form and I just wasn't paying attention. But Milton is Anthony Richardson without the hype. He's
that good.
And the reason I say that, because everybody talks about how far he can throw the ball and his athleticism, and he can run and this and that. But what about the accuracy? What about the decision making? Only problem is Anthony Richardson was in an offense that wasn't conducive to his skills, and Joe Milton is in an offense where he can absolutely do his thing. It's a quarterback's dream.
Yeah, I don't think he's Anthony Richardson dynamic athletically though. You know what I mean? Like Anthony Richardson is take it, keep it, and take it for 80 yards. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Joe Milton can do that. Yeah. He's athletic, don't get me wrong, but he ain't Anthony Richardson athletic.
Yeah,
that's next level athleticism right there. But I think Tennessee might as well play Nico, bro.
Yeah.
You might as well play the freshman because Milton hasn't looked good in any game. I know they've won games, but he hasn't looked good in games. And they've kind of won in spite of him, not because of him. So why not play the freshman if you're not winning because of your quarterback anyway? Why not play the freshman and give him some reps? And that way, going forward, you got an experienced quarterback, because there can't be that big of a drop off between Milton and Nico at this point.
Yeah. Stevie Young asked about Greg Brooks. Is it true that Greg Brooks had to have a tumor removed? I'm honestly not sure. Of course, due to HIPAA, they can't announce certain things. Also, Brian Kelly is big on privacy for his players. He'll give you enough to know that, hey, they're not going to be here, or something like that, but he won't necessarily go into detail. So yeah, I understand that. So but I'm not sure. I heard of some medical. I've heard medical. I've heard loss of a family member. So I've heard all kinds of stuff. I'm just not even going to, but the way they reacted, it looked like it may have been something medical. So, saying prayers up for him, and, whatever he's going through, and, hope he, resolves that issue and gets back. So, yeah. So if it wasn't a football injury, we don't need to know. Sometimes we don't need to know the football injuries. As far as some stuff. I never forget. Never mind. I'll go on a tangent. Because there was a fan that actually when Clyde had that hamstring, pulled that hamstring
Mm-hmm.
in 2019 before Oklahoma. It was somebody, it was a fan, sent a message to Clyde's stepfather. It was like, is he playing? We need to know. The fans need to know if he's playing. It's just like some stuff is just too far. So, but anywho, back to this Tennessee, Florida. Were you surprised at Florida or?
Yeah, I was surprised at Florida. They looked good.
Yeah.
They looked a lot better than that week 1 Utah game.
Definitely. Playing McNeese will help you get back on your feet like that. But Tennessee, it looked like to me, at least in that first drive, it was like, okay, it's gonna be another easy Tennessee game, against Florida, and then they lit up. I don't know. When Etienne broke that long run, that first one, it's like it might be a long night. It might be a long night. I still got LSU by LSU by 40. But nah, I don't know. That game was interesting. Then at the end,
the fight, yeah.
You're a lineman. You're a lineman trying to square up with a quarterback. Yeah. Interesting.
We losing recipes.
Yeah. Chris Lomax said, yesterday is the last time I put money on Tennessee.
And it's the last time I put money on Kansas State.
Yeah, I messed around week 1 and I had Tennessee team total first quarter over 9.5. And they drove down and fumbled. And then they were gonna get the ball back with like a minute left. And they committed a penalty. And Virginia got the first down. So yeah. I gave up then. But yeah, next game on the docket, South Carolina, Georgia.
Let them off the hook. That's what adjustments look like right there.
Yeah, that was so you say let them off the hook. This is what I think happened. I think because we always talk about, especially on HBCU Hour, the difference D3 to D2 being, and like D2 to D1, and then FCS to FBS being like the depth and the, it's not necessarily talent. Here, I think this was it's more like depth of talent that caught up. Because like South Carolina just ran out of gas.
I think South Carolina was missing a guy like Jaheim Bell yesterday.
Bingo. Where is he now?
Florida State. He scored a touchdown on
that's
you.
Right. Yeah. Florida State put together a super team.
They killed the portal, bro, for real.
Yeah. Chuck says the SEC works in mysterious ways in football. That it does. Appreciate Ms. Biden. Ms. Biden said if you don't hit the like button, your team will lose this weekend.
Y'all
better do what she say. Tori says Georgia was sleepwalking in the first half.
I mean, I could see that because especially when you look at the way they came out after half, you know what I mean? They look like a totally different team at the halftime.
Yeah. Hey, it's Outrage giving you
don't worry, you ain't never got to worry about that happening ever again.
Anything else on this one before we move on? Because I'm about to go off. This could have been an altar call, but you got anything else on this South Carolina, Georgia?
Nah, man.
All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Bama, bring y'all sorry ass to the front.
Them boys ain't got no quarterback, man.
Listen,
That dude said, is USF that good or is Bama just USF is not good at all?
So just for context, FAMU scored 14 points on USF in the first half last week.
Mm-hmm. Talk to him.
The game as a whole, FAMU had ended the game with
24
points.
Yep.
Bama had to struggle to get 17.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't scored 17 till like a minute left.
Mm-hmm. Western Kentucky put up 41 on South Florida.
I literally said, I laughed after the spring game when I told y'all I am not scared. I don't feel threatened. I don't break a sweat when I think about those quarterbacks that Alabama has. So after spring, Bama realized they needed help. So they went out and got help. And who would they get? Tyler Buckner from Notre Dame. Not only am I not scared, I actually laughed. This gives me listen, that's like I don't even know how to describe it. What's the opposite of a nightmare?
I haven't
I don't know. I was going
a wet one.
I wasn't gonna say it. But pause. Listen, I just don't I'm put it like this. I don't have nightmares when I think about Alabama's quarterback situation. But I will agree with this. What Torres says, Milroe is their answer. I think Saban played those two to shut up the fans. I think Milroe is a year away, but you need to go ahead and let him. You're gonna have to suffer this year. You also gonna have to get an offensive line. That offensive line did not get better this offseason. Somebody said, or I've heard people say, I've heard Bama fans say, Georgia and Texas A&M and Texas are getting the offensive lineman, defensive lineman in Georgia. So they're all getting the offensive line, defensive line, and so Bama is suffering now.
Yep, I said that in Spaces last night, bro. Who is the guy on Bama's defense that you just absolutely terrified of offense?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can probably name 2 people on that defense, and I could possibly say 3, but the third one I think you already left. But I think he in the league. Kool-Aid, Dallas Turner. That's it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They don't have a Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Quentin Williams, Will Anderson. You know what I mean? They don't have one of those guys on this team that you just scared of. Georgia been killing the defensive line. Georgia and Texas A&M been killing the defensive line. Recruiting in the high school recruiting, and then you look at Texas and Texas A&M, Georgia getting offensive linemen that Alabama been missing out on as well. Ohio State getting offensive linemen also. I mean, you look at it, they're not getting the guys they used to get. And that's what it's coming down to. He don't have a quarterback. He don't have an offensive line. He don't have a dominant defensive line. He can't control the line of scrimmage.
Why? Tony said that Bama's offensive line got bigger weight-wise, but that doesn't fit what they're trying to do on offense. When I saw Bama, or I started hearing that Bama's going back to more power, they're going to just try to out-physical you, I knew then it was a wrap. Because what's going to happen is the defense going to get gas because everybody going to be running spread. But see, the difference is everybody's not running. We're not running air raid. They're running spread, but they're still being physical up front. They're still trying to run the ball up the middle. So this is just as I'm not a Bama fan by any stretch of imagination. It's embarrassing to watch and see them struggle the way they did.
Yeah, man. I think part of the reason why they're struggling is because of what we're watching right now, and that's Bill O'Brien on the New England Patriots.
People complained about him last year.
They missed him right about now, bro.
They all right. They got Tommy Reese. Mastermind. Yeah.
They might as well put Miro back there and make it work best they can with him, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, they probably gonna try because Simpson led those 2 drives. They probably gonna try him.
I said what I said.
I know what you said. I listen. they can play. I would love to see them play Tyler Buckner and Simpson all the way through November 4th. I would love to see that, but
I don't want to see Milroe, honestly.
I don't either. I think Milroe would be like what we saw Malik Hornsby with Arkansas.
Robbie Ashford.
Ooh, yeah. Yep. Miss Body said she used to like Bama until Saban bench Hurts.
Well,
I actually used to like
what they give right now to have Jalen Hurts back at Bama as the Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I used to like Bama until, and this will be a throwback. When they benched no, when they benched Andrew Zhao for what was they do? Tyler Watts, the pride of Pelham. I know you don't know. It was a kid. He was I don't even know what his start. They ain't really had to do star ratings and stuff. This was like late 90s. And this kid, when I say late 90s, early 2000s, it was like 99-ish. But Andrew Zhao was there. I think they came in at the same time. And Bama was in that phase where winning 6-7 games, being bowl eligible is was acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler Watts was doing, not Tyler Watts, Andrew Zhao was doing that. He was winning them some games. They was getting 8 games, 9 games. They were competitive. But Tyler Watts was supposed to be the man back then. And they benched Zhao, put in Tyler Watts. And they suffered. The offense suffered after that. So, yeah, I stopped liking Alabama then because it became pressure of a different sort. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. But yeah, this is it's embarrassing. I want to think that speaking of dreams, one dream I had was that we would see Saban start to falter, going from 10-win seasons to maybe an 8 and a 7-win season before they, he get up out of there. I don't think it'll happen, but that was, some Bama looks bad. They will
done, bro.
Yeah, they'll still win. I think they can win 9 games in the regular season, 10 with the bowl, but they look bad.
Yeah, I can see that. 9 wins, 10 with a ball. I can see that.
Yeah. We were talking about it last. I want to say it may have been last night. Games left that they can lose. I know we brought up Ole Miss. They play them this week.
A&M.
You think A&M? It's in College Station this year too.
I think because of what A&M got up front, bro.
That's true. This was Bama's first. It's fun. This was Bama's first road game too. And they hadn't been good on the road in like the last 2 years.
So we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. Where's that that Ole Miss game is in Tuscaloosa this year. So we'll see. Man, next game on the docket.
Hold on,
Probably.
let's go back to Bama real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think it's as much like they still getting guys over there and recruiting.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but what they're not stacking 3-4 guys at every position like they used to. And another thing I think what we need to realize is they don't have the Kirbys, the Mel Tuckers,
Yeah.
the Billy Napiers. Like they had staffs with multiple head coaches on staff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have that same level of coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's part of it as well, is there's other coaching staffs now who are on par, or you know what I'm saying, the gap ain't as big as it used to be between Saban's staff and their staff. Like Sarkisian's staff, he got damn good staff.
Oh,
It
he
might be
does.
better than Saban's. At this point, Georgia got a damn good staff. It might be better than Saban. Probably is better than Saban's. You know what I'm saying? So if you start looking at some of these other schools, the staffs at these schools are starting to catch up and pass Saban. I think that has just as much to do with it as the actual talent on the field.
Yeah. Zay asked, and why the hell is Bama on the road facing that team? That's weird.
Damn
They
good
play in the Raymond James Stadium, and so Saban and Alabama want to get them to and this is actual inside source because I asked that question. They want to play in the NFL stadium. He wanted to get the players to play in the NFL stadium. So Chris says when Saban leaves, who they go get Dabo or Dion? Won't be Dion. It's still Alabama. Read between the lines. Same reason Auburn didn't get Dion, and he tried. With that,
I don't know. If you Deion, why leave Colorado?
especially now you're going to the
Big 12. You're about to run the Big 12. And you Deion, people gonna come to you no matter where you at.
Yeah. Dabo, would you leave Clemson?
I think Dabo about to retire.
Mm.
I think this NIL transfer portal world is kicking Dabo's ass right now.
Wow. But yeah. Speaking of, what up, Jamon? He said came out of recovery from last week.
Oh, you can talk now, huh?
Yeah. Nick tried to strike back from last week. He said he'd get tired of his mascot looking like me. He's trying to say that
that the buffalo look like
buffalo Ralph would look like me. Yeah.
Oh, dang, man.
Womp 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 womp.
Mr. Carlos say that cold weather no joke. That's true. That's true, but I can't picture Dion in Alabama.
No. It's already bad enough now. Give me my theme music. Reaching out.
Sweet
touching
home Alabama.
Touching you. Sweet Caroline.
They gonna hit that sweet Alabama on them, man.
Yeah, they'll do that in Alabama. They'll play. You do anything, you hear banjos. You just listen. You might be in the wrong place. But yeah, speaking of Dion, last night, Colorado State versus Colorado.
The whole country stayed up to 1:30 in the morning to watch that.
I'll admit, I said so this summer. I kept saying that Colorado State wasn't necessarily a guaranteed win for Colorado because they struggled with them last year.
You did.
This week, I was like, yeah, Colorado State, saying that should be a easy win. Several hours later, into the wee early hours of the morning, I was up so late, or shall I say, we was up so late, Santa Claus couldn't even drop out the presents. But throw sand in your eyes. But that game, Colorado State was up 24-17. Was that right? Was it 24-17?
Colorado State blew that game, man.
They did. Big time.
And that ain't even on no hating stuff. That's
Yeah.
just, I mean, Colorado found a way to win, but Colorado State should have won that game. What's crazy to me is the man who did the most talking this week leading up to the game, Jay Norvell, was the reason why his team didn't win the game.
Yeah.
His coaching decisions down the stretch, when he decided to punt and not go for it, things he just called the game scared down the stretch, and ultimately led for them to be able to come back. And hats off to Colorado, bro. And Shador for finding a way to come back in that game without Travis Hunter, off on offense, and will his team to victory. But my issue was, how the hell y'all gonna storm the field?
Yeah. They didn't store. This is the second time they didn't storm the field this year.
I don't care about the Nebraska one.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
That's a rivalry. This is a rivalry, but this is
a rivalry, but this is a group of 5 school that you was 20-point favorites, bro. Stop it, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Colorado State. Number 14, number 5. That wide receiver.
Oh man, that boy number 14 was killing
Horton, and then I don't know that dude number 5 for that tight end with that big old brace on his arm.
Man, hey, that number 14 still open right now.
Man. He was killing them. And they just stopped. I don't know. Play calling Colorado State. He need to put
and
Kamara. That's true.
Was killing
Kamara on the defense line. He went out, and that I think that was big for that game.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. That's true too. Colorado State quarterback putting that thing on the money. He definitely made a name for himself. Going into next week, they got Oregon.
They're gonna miss Travis Hunter.
Oh man, you read my mind. On both sides. Let me ask this.
I don't think they're gonna miss him as much offensively because of this game. Because of this game. They basically had to play the whole game without him in this game.
I was gonna ask, what side they do you think they miss him on the most?
Defensively.
Defense.
But I don't think offensively they're gonna miss him as much because they, like I said, they just had to play the whole game without him pretty much.
Yeah, and they just who's the guy?
Weaver, Jimmy Horn, like they started I think he's starting to pick up confidence on them.
They tight end themselves, number 87.
Yeah, number 87, he was killing at the end of the game. But defensively, man, when you're going up against Oregon and the high-powered offense, and then the next week going up against USC and that high-powered offense, you're gonna need him at corner, man. You're gonna need what he brings.
I think he only missed 1 week.
Man, the way they made it seem, he was gonna miss multiple weeks. I think he broke a rib, bro.
Yeah,
I have no knowledge. I'm just
the way it looked.
The way it looked, I think he broke a rib.
Yeah, that was a dirty hit. Somebody talked about the hit. It was definitely a dirty hit. Yeah, terrible.
I said the same thing, Jamon. People told me I was crazy whenever I said he was better at receiver.
No, he is. Yeah.
Tell that to them people in my comments and mentions.
Yeah. Nick asked this early. He said Deion said he the best coach, or he made this comment earlier. He's the best coach in college football. I need him to just cool his jets a little. LOL.
It's a man in Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa.
That's the greatest college football coach of all time, bro.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I was gonna say he beat Jay Norvell, not Mike Norvell. So I mean, it ain't nothing to be bragging about right about now. So, um, but anyhow, speaking of uh, Florida State, we mentioned this earlier. Florida State was in a bit of a battle themselves, playing against Boston College in the bandana game. First of all, Boston College always gets up for that game.
It's something Wells.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I always call it a bandana game because they come out, saying with
Yeah.
the red bandana flag and stuff. Um, this game will never be played in California. But anyway, um, it was it was it was some extenuating circumstances in this game as well. With the I think it's like somebody mentioned or Blake was talking about it last night with the storm. Florida State had trouble getting out, flying out, and they flew out late, landed late, didn't get to the hotel till like 1:30, and then had 11 o'clock game. So kudos for them for
Man, not
finding a
just
way.
that, but it's a big game for Boston
Yeah.
College. It's a
Yeah,
game that no matter the opponent, Boston College will get up big for this game any year. Then, not to mention, they got number 3 team in the country coming in, so it's a double motivation for them. So I mean, I just think it's one of them where Boston College played a very emotional, hard fought game, and Florida State came in
facts,
flat and then still found a way to win, which is a testament to how good they are.
facts. This yeah, I don't take anything away from Florida State. I still think they the best team in the country right now. I do give kudos to Georgia and give them saying defending champs, give them a bump. But Florida State's look like the best team in the country, in my opinion. They've had
Yeah, I
the
think Florida State than Texas.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of Wyoming versus Texas, um, this game here was closer than it should have been. I think the score going into the fourth quarter was 10-10, tied 10-10. So Texas ended up scoring 21 in the fourth to blow it open a little bit, um, 31-10. But this game was close.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say Wyoming does always play their opponents tough, especially a Power Five opponent. They upset what's his name?
Texas Tech.
That was this year too. When they beat Texas Tech this year.
Mhm.
No, I was thinking about like 2 years ago when Kelly Bryant was there, and they beat Mizzou when he was at Mizzou,
Oh
and they
yeah,
beat
yeah.
Mizzou. So Wyoming has been building. That's what PJ Fleck. I was gonna say rock the boat, row the boat. That's where he came from, right? Yeah. So
No, he came from Central Michigan.
was it Central Michigan? Okay. Okay. Josh Allen. Thank you.
Josh Allen came from
Yeah.
Wyoming. Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, Wyoming has definitely been trying to build something over there. Do you think this was more of a do you think this was more of a hangover for Texas, or is it just kind of Texas being Texas? Just they gonna play down to the competition.
A little bit of both.
Okay. Western Michigan. There you go.
Western Michigan. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know it
yeah.
was one of them
They
directions.
same colors. They same colors. It's just yeah,
Yeah, one of them directional Michigan schools.
yeah. Um, but yeah, what we saying? Oh, Texas. So what you think?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that they was playing little hangover, a little feeling like they could just come in and beat Wyoming. By just
Mm,
showing up to a certain extent, and then I think Wyoming is a pretty decent team as well. and that before they realized that they was in a dogfight, and by the fourth quarter, just like you mentioned earlier, the depth of talent differential kind of played out toward the end.
Yeah. Toyer says Craig Bowl knows how to coach.
Yeah,
Big
that he
time.
does.
Big time. Do you want to talk about this Kansas State Missouri game?
No,
All right. I'm gonna skip it.
I
I do.
cannot stand Kansas State, bro. They so overrated, dog.
Yeah. That was a big one though. I was not expecting.
I wasn't expecting it either, obviously, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Vegas
kudos
thanks
to
you for your
Missouri kicker though. 61 yards.
to win it.
That's
Yeah.
that's nothing to sneeze at right there. That's pretty good, bro. So I can't be too upset, but just because it was, you gotta tip your hat to them whenever they make a 61-yard walk-off field goal. But at the same time, Kansas State shouldn't have been in that position. I thought they would be a better team than that.
Mhm.
And I thought they would be one of the teams kind of competing with Texas for the Big 12, but they've disappointed me so far this year.
Yeah. The other it's two teams I thought would be, St. Kansas State. I thought Texas Tech
Yes.
would also
Yes.
compete. Now it's down to Oklahoma. So Jamon Petty said, "What about Texas State?" So petty.
That game, I know we're not talking about it, but that game was close.
Until
and
it
then
wasn't.
it was like blink your eyes, and it was like it ain't close no more.
Right.
I ain't never seen the score get so out of hand so fast, bro.
I have. It's Friday night.
Oh, we're not gonna talk about it.
I just want to say, get the audience a breakdown. My son's high school game Friday night. They came, they got down 17 early, but came back, make it, had momentum. And made it a 10-point game at halftime. Score at halftime was 31-21.
Reasonable, respectable.
I just want to say they scored 3 touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. It was 35 points scored in the third quarter, and they scored 28 of them. It was not. It got ugly quick. Yeah. But we can move on, man.
Nick say his team put up.
Yeah, I saw that. It was matter of fact, the team. It was somebody.
Oregon beat them 81.
Portland State.
Portland State. You know the team that they beat, North American, got like 400 people in their school.
They beat all 400 of them too.
Man, that's an NAIA school, bro.
Yeah, y'all to be ashamed of yourself.
But to be fair though,
mm-hmm.
like they didn't score in the fourth quarter. They could have broke the clock on them boys. They could have put up 100. They literally did not score in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So how bad would Oregon beat North American? 170 to
oh man, it wouldn't even be. They put up Cumberland versus Georgia Tech type numbers.
Yeah.
But man, this is a game I did not. I was excited to watch. But I wasn't expecting this outcome. South Alabama versus Oklahoma State. First off, shout out to them Jaguars down in 251. They should have did this last year with UCLA, and we'll be talking about back-to-back years with big wins. Was watching the game. Dylan said, "Oh, I know him." He was seeing the coaches. He said, "Oh, I know that coach. I know that coach too." I said, "Yeah, man. South Alabama put on a clinic, bro. It wasn't even close."
Yeah, it wasn't close. The question is it time for the mullet to leave in Stillwater?
me ask this. What was his last major accomplishment?
Playing Baylor for the Big 12 championship game and getting stuffed at the 1 yard line.
Yeah. The man had Chuba Hubbard and what's the quarterback? Spencer Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Man, he's had some people come through that school, bro. James Washington at receiver with Mason Rudolph put up crazy numbers.
You know, it's funny. This same, well, not this same, but Oklahoma State came to South Alabama, probably about 3 years ago and beat them just as bad. So this was definitely like a revenge game.
He said they won the Fiesta Bowl 2 years ago. Okay, that's the year.
Okay. Yeah, that's the year they beat. You know who they beat though?
I do not.
That was Marcus Freeman first game, and Marcus Freeman them got up first half.
That's right.
And then, yeah.
I'm just saying, man. He been there since Les left. He been there for a while.
I'm a man. I'm 40. Yep, boy,
Yeah.
Chuck, you beat me to it.
I think he's about 60 now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
He said Chuck with the pay. He said that was man, Mike Gundy. I'm a man. I'm 40. He is now in his 50s, and said he was Barry Sanders' college teammate.
Yeah, he probably pushing 60. If we really be so, I mean, I just think it's time, man. You know, so you ain't meant to be anywhere for that long anymore these days. The days of coaching somewhere 30 years and that's gone, bro. So before his legacy becomes too tarnished there, because he did some good things. He won a lot of games there, but I don't want him to be remembered for this past few seasons instead of the good times.
Yeah. Man, shout out to South Alabama.
56.
Ladarius Webb. Made, you know what I'm saying, a great game. That quarterback was dialing it up. I'm talking about he was just over. They ran that 2-minute drill so smooth. Shout out to offensive coordinator, Major Applewhite. Former Texas quarterback, former Alabama offensive coordinator. Don't be surprised if Nick Saban don't try to reach back and bring him back. So
I can see that. But I feel like Major about to be a head coach somewhere though.
Yeah, you know, because he was a head coach at Houston when Texas coach
Tom Herman
when Tom Herman left.
I don't think he was ready then, but I think he is now.
Yeah, but that dude can call some plays. Man, he can call some plays. Any other notable college football games from this weekend?
Michigan State getting waxed.
That's a game I don't want to talk about.
We could talk about.
No, I'm just saying what I want to talk about because I had them. You know, so I had the over. It was at 50. And
I forgot about that. My bad. I shouldn't have brought that.
Oh, you good?
We could talk about Penn State.
Oh, I do want to say this.
Man, there ain't really been no great games this week.
I do want to say we have not talked about the Mel Tucker situation.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
get more information.
Thank you. It's too early. I think it's too early. It's stuff steadily coming out on both sides. So I don't want to get out there, make a statement, then boom, as soon as we do, we looking like Wendy Williams or somebody because all the information came out was some completely different. So just want to put that out there. But, my bad. Other notable college football games.
Did you see the Louisiana Tech game?
I saw the last score when they scored. Well, not the last score when they scored to tie it up.
Going into the fourth quarter, they was down 30-16.
Wow.
They lost 40-37.
Wow.
They scored 23 points in the fourth quarter and still lost. They lost on a field goal with 3 seconds left.
Yeah. Wow. Oh wow. I didn't realize he was from
Yeah, I knew that.
the BR. Chuck says he remember when Major Applewhite was a quarterback at Catholic High. Baton Rouge, and running back Travis Major and Minor show in the 1990s. Wow. You know something funny? The wide receiver coach at South Alabama recruited Major Applewhite. He was trying to recruit him to Kansas State. Ended up getting Michael Bishop instead, but now he works with Major Applewhite.
So that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's talk some NFL real quick. We can go through these kind of quick.
All right.
Yes, he does. Miss Byer say Chuck Hunt knows everything. Yeah. Chucklopedia in this thing.
That was a dime by Tua, by the way.
Jamon asked, I guess we can, before we close out, move on to NFL. He said, what was y'all game in the week? That Colorado game was lit.
That probably was the game of the week.
Yeah.
But just because there was really no good games this weekend, it was a terrible slate of games. It really wasn't. There was no ranked matchups. You know what I mean? There was really no great game. So
realistically, my favorite game was it was that South Alabama. I love underdog game. I mean stories anyway. I love seeing upsets. So that was my favorite game for several reasons. But
I mean, yeah, that like if we want to be real, that Colorado game was good, but the Hampton Howard game.
Oh my goodness. Hampton Howard or either that Allen, Kentucky State.
Allen, Kentucky State was a hell of a game too. That comeback by Allen, like the Louisiana Tech comeback, like I'd probably put all of them up there before Colorado. Colorado was a good game though, but
yeah, it's hard to enjoy it when
it was a hard to watch game for a lot of it though.
Yeah. All right, NFL, man. I know we kind of went back on that one. Ravens, Bengals. The Bengals scored their first offensive touchdown of the season in the third quarter.
Let me ask you this.
No, I'm sorry. In the first, no, it was the third quarter when they
scored. Because it was a kickoff return first.
Punt. It was a
punt return. Okay.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: should Joe have waited a few weeks to come back? Does he look like 100% healthy?
Oh, he's not. He they announced today he said he re-aggravated. No, he doesn't look good. The offense doesn't look good. They're off rhythm. But I mentioned that before, that the first 2 weeks of the season they always are kind of off rhythm.
Yeah, even worse when your quarterback ain't 100%.
Bingo. So that game was it was a valiant effort by them at the end, but Baltimore ended up having just enough, despite all their injuries.
And now you 0-2.
In your division at that.
That's tough.
And I put no man. Pick division.
And you had a Baltimore team with a hell of a lot of injuries. That's the way to win.
Yeah. The Packers and the Falcons.
I don't want to talk about this game. The Packers should have won this game.
Atlanta actually looks like a threat.
Yeah. They look good. I ain't gonna say a threat.
Yeah, NFC South.
They look good.
I mean, they look extremely beatable. They're young, but they look like and I say a threat, meaning having.
We gotta stop that running game, bro. That's what makes that Bijan and Algier. That's what makes them so deadly, is that two-headed running back room that they got. But defensively, they've improved, and I think that's the biggest improvement for me, is on the defense side of the ball, how much better they got.
Yeah. Um, Seahawks, Lions. I thought Lions were gonna walk away with this one.
Mm.
I thought they were, and maybe it was a little fool's goal because of the game against the Chiefs. But yeah, they definitely look. The Lions didn't look as good as I thought they looked.
Yeah, I kind of called that one. I don't know, man. Gino looked a little bit better, but I don't know if he's still the Gino of last year. But it was a great game, high scoring game. But I don't know. The Lions gonna have to get some more out of their defense.
Mm. Yeah. Only reason I got those one in here because Anthony Richardson, Colts, Texans.
Concussion.
He was looking good. They were moving well, and he got a concussion on his second touchdown. He was out the rest of the game. I don't know if he comes out of protocol. They gotta try to keep him out or what.
Yeah, I think he definitely gonna miss next game.
Yeah.
Nick got a good point. The Broncos scored a Hail Mary and
Yeah.
still lose the game.
Yeah.
That was a crazy Hail Mary, tipped around like nobody wanted to catch a hot potato.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep pairing these two together. But first one, Commanders, Broncos.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
So the Commanders were down and found a way to make a good comeback, win this one. Offensively, they got going. I ain't gonna say necessarily I'm impressed, but Commanders might be able to do a little something in the East.
They using their weapons, that's for sure. Brian Robinson, 2 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin with 90 yards and a touchdown. I think Dotson had like 100 yards receiving or close to it. Not Dotson. I don't know, but yeah, their offense was the offense came alive in that second half. Really,
Chiefs Jags, not Jets. Chiefs Jags. The Chiefs for second week in a row have struggled on offense.
Yep.
Kelsey's back because we asked the question: was it because Kelsey wasn't there? Kelsey's back.
Yeah, they still ain't look good. I only put up with 17 points. And I know Kelsey caught one of them touchdown passes, and Sky Moore caught the other one, but it ain't the explosive Chiefs offense we used to see.
To be fair, they could have scored again at the end.
Yeah, that's true, but still, it still ain't the same.
I mean, it's only 24 points.
It ain't the same explosiveness that like the eye test. It ain't as explosive and as easy as it's looked.
So I'm gonna ask this question. I know it's still is it still too early to say if they're missing?
I think part of it is they missing him for sure. I don't think you can deny that. Yeah. I think they also missing a true number one receiver. I think Juju Smith-Schuster didn't get enough credit last year for what he did for that offense. I know a lot of people don't like Juju or don't give him the credit because of the TikTok and all that, dancing and all that kind of stuff. But I think they don't. Sky Moore is good. The Kadarius Toney is okay, but I don't think they got a true number one receiver over there. I mean, Juju almost had 1,000 yards last year for them. Like, I don't know if they got a guy who can get them 900 yards this year.
I'm waiting because there's a lot of folks who saying, that.
Oh yeah, you definitely can't deny the impact of Eric Bieniemy for sure.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Now, my next question. Well, any other notable NFL games from today? Um,
I mean, the fact that
the Giants
that was
comeback.
a great comeback, hell of a comeback, 20 points,
Yeah.
great comeback. The fact that your division is two. Bill Belichick funny dog.
Yeah, some of that
The,
red sock.
the way he threw that flag. But the fact that the Saints division is 2-0.
Everybody except for Carolina, right?
Yeah, well, the Saints got to win this game tomorrow
Yeah.
to keep pace. Dallas defense, the Rams ain't as bad as we thought they were.
That's yeah.
The Chargers maybe not be as good as we thought they were. It's back-to-back weeks that they losing over by a
One
field goal.
possession game.
Yeah. And for a defensive guru, I don't really know about Brandon Staley, dog. This defense don't look good. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the NFL.
How long was Anthony Johnson there before they let him go? 1 year, 2 years?
Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn, I'm sorry.
I think it was.
He wasn't that long.
It wasn't, and he ain't have no Justin Herbert neither. I think it was 3 years.
Okay.
And I think Brandon Staley has been there 4 years. I could be wrong though. Let me look it up. Brandon Staley been there since 2001. I mean 2021.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Anthony Lynn was there from 2017 to 2020.
So 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. And then Staley been there 21, 22. This is third year.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he made the playoffs. And
last year, but he lost. They had the lead and lost to the
no,
Jaguars.
I'm saying Anthony Lynn made the playoffs and
sorry.
won a game in his second season. 1-1, then lost in the second round. They won the wild card game. They didn't blow a 20-something point lead like Brandon Staley did. Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In the AFC right now, who's the favorite? Because a lot of people, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, that's going into the season. That was the
None of them three look good.
Yeah.
I'm be honest with you, Miami. I kind of hate to say it, but Miami looks good.
They do. They do. So does Baltimore.
Yeah.
Man, the way
Cleveland.
they won, I gotta see them again.
Yeah.
But the way they won today, without all them starters,
that's true.
Baltimore look good.
Well, and we might know more tomorrow. And the reason why I say that is because depends on how when I say that, it depends on how Cleveland looks
That was a
against
terrible throw.
Terrible. It depends on how Cleveland looks against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland went against this Bengals team that is just all out of whack. And I don't know if it's just the Bengals are bad or what, because they went through that, and then you also had the Ravens do the same thing to the same Bengals team. So
yeah. Savior, stupid. But yeah, man, I don't know if we picked like who was going to the Super Bowl before the season,
We didn't. We forgot to do all that.
but the Ravens might be my pick.
Okay. I probably would have said Philly in the NFC. I would have said that before now. Philly don't look good.
I probably would not have said Philly just because it's so hard to make it back to back, especially if you lose the Super Bowl. I
Yeah.
probably would have said San Francisco just because there ain't really nobody else in the NFC. But yeah, I agree with you about Philly.
Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas.
Dallas looks good. Dallas, I can't lie. Dallas looks good.
We can't say that too loud. Tony watching the show.
I gotta see what their offense looks like though, because they played well, I can't say they played a sorry Giants team. Well,
They offense stepped up today.
Yeah, but they played the Cardinals though, bro.
No, I'm talking about Dallas.
Yeah, but who did they play? The Jets defense, decent defense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't really. The Jets offense was so anemic, bro. It's hard to.
Well, the Jets defense just played Buffalo, and
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The Jets got a good defense, but their offense was so terrible today.
Yeah,
that you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. I think they are pretty good though, Dallas. I think they win that division.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it.
Now, as far as making the Super Bowl, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think who else. That's it, because everybody else it'll be
the Saints, man.
It'll be a guess. I gotta see what they look like this week.
I feel.
Speaking of, let's talk about them, man. Saints got the Panthers tomorrow night. I think the Saints should win this one. I'm not gonna say easily, but I think they should win this one convincingly. I guess that's the best way to put it. Carolina I wasn't impressed with Carolina against the Falcons.
Yeah. I feel like rookie quarterbacks, you got to beat them.
Speaking of that, all the rookie quarterbacks lost last week.
Last week?
Yeah, every rookie quarterback lost. This week, everybody got their first. Well, not everybody. This week, at least Anthony Richardson got his first win. Even though he went out, he's still, on record starting.
Yeah, CJ Stroud, he ain't gonna win many games this year. I think the Saints should win pretty comfortably. I don't know if Carolina has enough offensively to keep up with the Saints. Like, they don't have a Derrick Henry, a DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I mean? Like, that you had to go up against last week. Miles Sanders is good, but I don't know if that's enough. They got Thielen, and they got rid of DJ Moore. They got Marshall, but he banged up, I think.
Yeah, Terrace Marshall.
So yeah, I mean, that's a game that you should win if you're the Saints.
I was trying to think. I was talking about Saints Panthers. Trying to think what. This off subject. We already passed them. But the Packers are they look good post Aaron Rodgers.
I know they lost today, but they still look good.
Yeah, I think they found their quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, Nick said he thinks Joe Horn Jr. is out.
Yeah, he out. He out.
Okay, so
And they're missing 2 offensive linemen, I believe.
the tackles one, ain't it?
Or the 2 guards, I think.
Oh, either way.
Both guards, I think.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here.
All right.
Get ready to call it a night, man. You got anything before we get up out of here? Anything we might have missed?
Nah. Whatever we missed tonight, we probably gonna be discussed tomorrow night. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll have the oh, Josh asked, is DJ Shark hurt? I don't know. Let me check. Let me see what the Google say.
I don't think he is. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, hold on. I just seen something say Idris. He's questionable. Questionable for tomorrow night. The hamstring. Mm-hmm. Still listed as questionable for Monday night's game.
Okay, I did not know that.
But they say he was able to do everything Saturday, so it's a good sign he's for his availability. So yeah. That's fine.
That dude is stupid, man.
Yeah. All right, man. We got nothing else, man. We'll be back on Wednesday. Preview the LSU Arkansas game. I don't know if we got anybody coming on, but
we ain't got nobody coming on, man.
I doubt it.
Only person I know who could talk Arkansas football is Carter Bryant.
I don't care about Arkansas enough like that. All right, man. Y'all get y'all some bacon. Eat your pork this week. We out. This show was presented by betonline.ag. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.